Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS. Now in this episode we need to continue our rampage through the slaver headquarters in the Athkatlan Slums, but we have to do so without Eri, and because she was way too eager in the last episode to engage the opponents in melee. And unfortunately in this episode that means that we're not going to have her spells, and there's a certain encounter with opponents being in this room that I was saving some of her spells for. Primarily slow, but even more importantly the cleric level 2 spell Silence, because there's going to be 2 mages in there, but these mages are still not so high level and they basically won't have any spell protections on them. So that means that with that silence spell and its -5 saving throw penalty that it applies to the targets, there would be a very good chance that at least one of them would get silenced and disabled in that fight, basically. But since that is not an option, we're going to have to improvise a little bit. First, let's disarm this trap. And I will have a certain tactic in mind in these circumstances then. I think, going to position my whole party at the end of this corridor, and Senashira is going to drink an oil of speed, or apply an oil of speed, and basically pull the whole group from there into this narrow corridor, in which we will then be able to unleash some hopefully well-placed lightning bolts, that in this corridor, especially in this entrance, there might get a few of them and seriously injure them, and then we can kind of finish them off as they are going in. Of course, these 2 mages are always going to be a problem. Another idea would be to backstab with Yoshima. We have potions of invisibility and we could go into that room, but the problem is that the pre-buffs that these mages are going to receive are likely to be, they're likely to have some stone skins, some mirror images and stuff, so these backstabs wouldn't be really too effective. And the other opponents, they have some archers, some fighters, they don't really matter all that much. Now there is a chance that these Yuan-ti from this room are going to approach us, so I'm just going to be kind of... Alright, it seems like they don't want to. They might join in on the fight. There's just 2 Yuan-ti. They are also new opponents in Baldur's Gate 2, although if you've played Icewind Dale, they are also in large amounts in the first Icewind Dale. And I think as a greeting, once we get in sight of these guys, I think I'm going to... Well, I don't want to keep spamming these fireballs, but it's basically all that we can do. So here they are. And at first they think we're, Amnion guards that they've paid off, but then they realize that we're not soldiers of Amn. This changes things. Yeah, so this one mage obviously already gets his pre-buffs and starts out invisible. The slaver guard is already attacking us. I'm going to go a little bit forward. So yeah, there's these 2 wizards, an archer. I think there's another one down there, and at least 1 fighter. Anyway, let's throw in a fireball there and pull them. Okay, both of them failed their spell. That's very nice. Now hopefully they're going to follow nicely after us. Okay, Kiranai is going to be useless. I should have tried to place 1 trap. She has very little set traps. Yeah, 10. Well, we would have a 10% chance that this trap would succeed. So maybe it's even better that I didn't waste time on that. Anyway, let's see how this goes. Alright, so the slaver wizard, I think he decided not to cast that spell. Anyway, let's prepare our lightning bolts. And I think I'm just going to, since we can't target the ground with the lightning bolts, I think I'm going to just target him with all of the lightning bolts and see what they can do on their way. Boom! Alright, that was pretty effective. Okay, this is not going too badly, if I do say so myself. Alright, now Jaheira and Minsk need to switch to some melee action. There's still 1 more mage active. And he cast Confusion on himself. I think he was under the impression that there are some invisible targets around him or something. Or maybe No, we weren't in his vision, so it must have been that. Okay, now Jaheira needs to heal up, and I should have actually healed up my characters before engaging in this fight. Can actually switch this ring of regen. Minsk is running a little low on his healing potions. Alright, this guy's morale broke and he runs away. He's irrelevant now. This slaver guard and this archer are also irrelevant. We have to switch to that other wizard, and he is of the purple color, I think. No, the purple one was the one talking to us, so he is the wizard in like red. But I don't think I have all of his pre-buffs displayed here. He surely has stone skins, but I was looking for it. I was looking for whether he had protection from normal missiles, because I want to kind of... Well, Yoshimo is going to shoot him with arrows anyway, but now when he's over there, he's a little difficult to get to when it comes to our melee guys. So I think Speedy Senashira is going to just... Alright, double charm person on... from a minor sequencer on Jaheira, and she got charmed. And that's not a big deal. Alright, Senashira can tank some damage, that's not a big deal either. And now, when he starts casting another spell, I am going to unleash some more lightning bolts at him, I think. Still throwing. Okay, now he's casting. So hopefully this can interrupt him. Let's have one lightning bolt on the archer, I guess. Still uninjured. Alright, boom. That made him fail his cast, and he's near death. Very nice. I think even Minsk should now try, and we should just try and finish him off now. Alright, his morale broke. That's very nice. He's just running in fear. So that means he's not going to be casting anything nasty at us. So Minsk is never going to catch up. Let's switch to a bow. Yoshimo can tank some damage from this guard. And maybe even Kirinai can, like, try to do some damage. Now, who is nicely available to us? This near-death guy. Okay, these Yuan-ti finally decided to join the party. I think for a little variety, let's have a little Ganazar's Scorcher here. Okay, that dealt with him. We can direct the beam onto the Yuan-ti and onto this guy, I think. Just step to the side a little bit, dear. Oh, the mage is casting. Ray of Enfeeblement on Minsk. Doesn't really matter, and he saved anyway. Actually, since he decided to act again, we might be able to catch up to him with Minsk and deal some damage with Lilarkor. It's going to be more effective. And yeah, the Slaver Guard also received the fire damage from the Scorcher. Don't repeat Ares' mistakes, Kirinai. Be careful with that flame beam. Okay, how are we doing on that wizard? We need to finish him off already. Do I use another charge of this wand? I don't want to, like, use so many charges of these wands. But I think he is still stone-skinned, so we're not really doing a good job in trying to, like, interrupt him. Alright, Dire Charm on Yoshimo, doesn't matter, he's going to shoot us with some arrows. This is not a big danger. Kirinai is not really doing too well against these Yuan-ti. This is like Mil's Acid Arrow, yeah, on Senashira. We need to like heal up with Senashira a little bit. Alright, now his stone skin is down. And Kirinai needs to heal up. And preferably run. And incentivize Yoshimo to maybe stop shooting. Alright, finally, that mage is down. I should have just probably used another wand charge and it would have been like 10 times easier, but... Alright, the Jaheira is also back with us, and maybe she's been back with us for a while. I was just completely not paying attention to her. Alright, now we just have these Yuan-ti to take care of. Alright, Kirinai needs to run for her life.
Sharpened and raring, feel the backhand of justice.
Let's just be safe. With Kirinai there. We're running very low on our thrown daggers, but we're not going to need any more in this place. Alright. So that was the second major fight in this place, and the last one. These Yuan-ti don't have anything, they just have these swords. The mage had 3 potions. I think this is the Ice Dust potion. Yeah, this is a pretty useful potion in a couple of places, because basically the thing is that it lasts for a very short duration, but yeah, for 1 round only. But it's an AoE kind of complete protection against fire. So there are a couple of places where you enter a room and you get like peppered by different like fire sources. This is really nice to use then. So let's give that to Minsk.
What do you need?
Yes,
right
quickly
behind.
and precisely.
And I probably should like pick up a couple of these splint mails. They still sell pretty well in our current situation. Okay, the fight is not done. Now it's done. Okay, nice one, Senashira. You still haven't forgotten completely your Kensai ways. Right, here we have a Cloak of Protection +1 from the other mage. More of these composite longbows +1. Alright, now we have to... Oh yeah, we can... Oh, you can't identify that anymore because your intelligence dropped down and now you're only 22 lore. But perhaps Yoshimo? No. Okay, so we're going to have to identify those later. Now, who can equip something? Okay, this is nice for you. Yoshimo can get the +1 arrows and you can get the splint.
I just can't carry anymore.
You can get those.
You require my... Very well.
Well, it's time to disarm some more traps.
Yes, this will
And
not
open
take
some
long.
containers and just get on with the looting.
What is if it must be done?
There's nothing too impressive when it comes to loot here. Just some basic stuff.
If memories, nothing dangerous.
Speed will be done.
But we're still, of course, going to help ourselves too. All the goodies.
So this I can dance on the head of a pin as well.
Yes, certainly.
I'm fleet of foot and all that.
What is it? Direct me as you will. Speed will be done.
I completely forgot to like do some commentary when I'm at it. I was just focused on, you know, just the loot and everything. Alright, Yoshimo's too far away now. Yeah, I got a little bit too focused on the looting and completely forgot that, you know, I'm supposed to like provide some entertainment value in these videos. And not just make you watch me play here in silence. You know, I can really get into this game, man, and just lose myself in it.
Tourists love that stuff.
Yes, without doubt.
That's the general thing about Baldur's Gate games and me, like, I completely lose track of time and of, like, everything else that is going on around me. Yeah, we have 1 acid arrow. Sweet. You know, Yoshimo, you can even use it. The next opportunity you get. Can anyone identify that?
Speak.
Alright, and now we're done with that headquarters. Just this one front guard left to deal with.
I can dance on the head of a pin as well.
He's actually a berserker, having berserker rage
Yes.
at his disposal, and we don't have any more thrown daggers for Senashira, and she's just fighting with her bare fists. So yeah, this is this dry docked boat, kind of modified to be, you know, that complex. Yet another potion that I have to spend on Kirinai in this nasty situation.
Where shall I display my skill in
Jaheira, what are you doing? I clearly told you to attack. Alright. That was pretty badly done. but we're out of there. That's the bottom line.
What is it? Without hesitation.
So we are in the eastern part of the slums now, and I think after reporting to Handak about what we've done and receiving a little reward for that, we're going to probably leave the slums for now. We don't really have much to do in the slums right now. There are some different buildings here, but they are usually connected to some quests later.
Greetings, good customer. A pearl to you.
This is a fence, I think. I'm actually not sure if in terms of game mechanics she's a fence. It sounds like, you know, she's selling stolen goods, but let's test it out. Yeah, she does. So we can sell this stolen jewelry. And we had something else stolen. Let's just get rid of all this. And get rid of one of these warhammers. She actually has some pretty good prices on this basic stuff, because we haven't sold anything earlier to her, so she has like the full price. So that's why we're selling in bulk. I'm not going to sell these 2 composite longbows. Well, I could sell these 2 to her, and then later on when we identify the other 2, we can sell them to someone else, and I think that's a good idea. This Sword of Chaos, by the way, we're not going to use it anymore. Lilar Core is generally like the better go-to kind of a piece of equipment, but this Sword of Chaos with the Ascension mod that I have installed in Throne of Baal, so way later, it's going to play a little part, like more of a role-playing oriented kind of part, but I'm going to hold on to it for all this time, and in Ascension, in Throne of Baal, we are going to be able to have a little payoff for that. Anyone else with anything to sell? Like, I'm trying to just think of something to sell. I think we have, yeah, this mace +1 Minsk can get. Just so that he can have a blunt option that sometimes is needed. Like, for example, for clay golems, you need blunt weapons. I think that's it for now when it comes to like management. So let's just report to Handak.
I will always be grateful for your assistance.
So he is overjoyed. So the slavers are dealt with, at least for a while. I'm not naive enough to think that the slavers will not return. I shall watch for them, however, and fight them if I can. So now, of course, the Copper Coronet is going to be in possession of Handak, who will probably try to make it a little better place. We also get a lot of personalized experience, and we also get +1 reputation for all that, because this is one of the like early but pretty big quest lines, and this is the official finish to it. However, the slavers are not completely conquered in Athkatlan. There are going to be some ambushes with slavers involved, and there's also one building that's normally pretty mysterious, but I am going to showcase in a later quest that there is a reference to that building mentioning slavers having their another compound in the city. But that's something for quite a bit later in the game. Yeah, he collected some of Leightonen's stuff, so we got another 4,000 gold. Basically, we get also a plate mail and this bastard sword. And if we talk to him and we ask about his stock, this is the dialogue line where he mentions the significant discount for us for what we have done. Now this plate mail is not going to be too useful. I could use it on Minsk and then give him the cloak of protection so that he would have a +1 bonus to his saving throws, but I think Kirinai needs all the protection that she can get. And I think now has come the time to... What's your experience? Oh, Kirinai is soon not going to be so useless, because once she gets to 160,000 experience points, I'm going to be able to do all of the 10 level ups or 9 level ups in one go, and regain her Kensai abilities, spend her proficiency points the way I want. It's going to be sweet. So that is an upcoming thing. Jaheira is now level 11 with Druid, which gives her access to level 6 spells, and that's very, very nice. Also some low-level spells. I'm going to have to like rework them before resting, but let's just give her some like basic stuff for now. You can probably have this invisibility purge. It might still be useful a little bit in the early game before we really get going with like detect illusion. And it's always to have, you know, more than one source of accomplishing anything in the game. Because of course there are situations in combat where someone is just not close enough to a certain situation, or they are disabled by some kind of spell, and you know, we don't have control over a certain person. Anyway, level 6 spells, those are there are some real goodies here. But I'm mainly going to, I think, look at the conjure. I always have to think about it. It's conjuration. So yeah, so conjure, not conjure. Anyway, this let's say summon fire elemental is a pretty like really good spell that she has. This is a really good summon, and yeah, we're going to receive some help from these fire elementals in different encounters. And now Minsk can level up to level 9. So this gives him an additional proficiency point, and since I'm not going to keep him for much longer, if I wanted to keep him for a full playthrough, I would start leveling him up in some kind of a different weapon, like Flail, for example, because there's usually not a perfect candidate for wielding the Flail of Ages, an excellent weapon in the game. So usually you have to like kind of level someone up yourself, and Minsk is a pretty good candidate for that. He can dual wield the Flail of Ages with some speed weapon and just be very effective with that. But since I am not going to keep him for such a long time, just for now I'm going to give him 1 point in the two-handed weapon style, so while he's fighting with his two-handed sword, he is going to be able to crit a little bit more, because that gives him, that's the biggest thing about the two-handed weapon style, is that you will be able to crit not only on a 20 roll, but also on a roll of 19. So instead of 5% crit chance, he has 10% crit chance now, essentially. Right, and also... Did you get any more spells, Minsk? Yeah, one more level, one spell. Doesn't really matter, but... Anyway. Now, the next order of business, I think, is going...
Follow the path that surely leads to glory. Boo is proud to be here. I can tell.
Had to stop myself immediately there, not to talk over Minsk. But yeah, Minsk, of course, is overjoyed after our success against the slavers. And yeah, let's indulge him and respond in a way that he likes. Now you are speaking the language of Minsk. Next we must get you a hamster, or perhaps an ice weasel, whatever your tastes. So yeah, good old Minsk. Now I think comes the time. We're going to resurrect Eri, and comes a time, I think, where we need to do some party rearrangements. We're going to get rid of Yoshimo, I think, very soon. Alright, first let's go to Wooking's Promenade. Oh, we are ambushed, and this is a significant, unique ambush with Renfeld here. And Renfeld is a unique name, not only because it's similar to Renfield from Dracula, but Renfeld, actually in Icewind Dale, in East Haven, there's a temple of Tempus there, with many different, like, different artifacts of different heroes. And, but anyway, Renfeld, I think, was the predecessor, as the keeper and the guardian of that temple, the main cleric of Tempus there. Renfeld was the predecessor of... oh my god, what's his name? How can I be forgetting his name? That snarky cleric. I am going to display it on the screen. I can't imagine my embarrassment for forgetting his name. But yeah, he was the previous head cleric there. Anyway, so this is a pretty unique ambush where they are about to like kill this person, I guess. And we have the opportunity to save him. So we're going to try to do so. Even in our like very not fit for battle party. It shouldn't be too bad of a situation. There's going to be conversation about intruders. Kill them all. For we well know that we must leave no witnesses. So there's something that was about to occur here. They have a mage, they have a cleric, they have a thief, and I think a fighter. These thugs. Anyway, So the mage has some pre-buffs here. Mirror images and shield. So what can we do to interrupt him here? These mirror images are probably going to soak. And I don't want to... you can actually, I think, kill Renfold here. With AoE damage. I am going to, I think, direct all of these lightning bolts at this guy. And perhaps we're going to be able to interrupt him. We're going to also shoot with him, with our characters. Minsk only has 2 arrows. I'm noticing. Kiranai is just going to stay back. Oh, and we have to move Sinashira so and she doesn't whack Minsk with these lightning bolts.
I am ready.
Boom! And Renfeld got damaged. Okay, he's immune to my damage. I think I remember a time when I was able to kill him, actually, with something. I think he is not immune to everything. I would have to double check. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I think I remember a time where I killed him and basically failed the quest, or didn't have the opportunity to get this quest line going, because he is immune to damage and probably like immune to most forms of damage, I guess, because he is the start of a pretty important quest line. So it would be really unfortunate to kind of lose out on that or miss out on that. But I don't know. I have to like double check all this. All right, we I think weren't able to interrupt this mage, and yeah, he did successfully cast slow on Minsk. So let's try to at least run out with Senashira maybe and not have these effects applied to her. This slow was completely ineffective, actually. Everyone saved versus spell, and Senashira and Kiranai were out of range. Alright, so I think we are kind of in the clear, although the cleric is still casting.
You require my counsel, yes?
You know, Yoshimo, you might try and keep shooting the cleric. Maybe you're going to be able to interrupt him.
Yes, certainly.
And the rest of us are going to have to focus the mage. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that Senashira just fights with her bare hands now. Okay, a little backstab. A little backstab for 34 damage on Senashira. I think the next order of business might be casting some mirror images from a scroll, but well, Senashira is hasted, so she doesn't need that. Alright, Doom on Kiranai doesn't matter. And this mage is also pretty fast. So we need to like catch up to him, and we need to give some arrows to Minsk. And we're just going to shoot him from a distance, I think. And perhaps Senashira is going to position herself so that she can do a little bit of a Ganazar's Scorcher. Actually, what we could do is cast a Ganazar's Scorcher on him and just direct the beam to like get all 3 of those guys. And this guy did go back to invisibility, so he's going to want to backstab someone again. So just to be on the safe side, I am going to give this potion to Kiranai and heal her up, because she is a very likely target with that backstab. Okay, so the cleric failed his spell, and the mage did manage to cast another slow, which did get Jaheira, but not Minsk. Alright, so let's attack this guy that is available. Okay, this guy tried to... Yoshimo is also slowed, and Kiranai is slowed, but Kiranai, you know, is irrelevant in combat now. What I wanted to say is that the backstab failed, like he missed Senashira, fortunately. And now the 2 times, again, as our Scorcher, it dealt its damage the 2nd time, so it's now going to expire. And this thug cleric is badly injured, so I need to like take care of him. 8 damage from a punch. Nice. He needs to be our main target now. And Minsk is really the only one who can like really catch up to him, so let's kite him back to Minsk. Right, he's done.
I'm ready.
Just running in a circle like in a Benny Hill movie.
Speak your mind.
Alright. I should be in the clear now. I can even do some punches with Senashira. Boom! Take that 8 damage. Take that. I'm gonna knock you the hell out.
Speak.
What do you need?
Yes, certainly.
Skilled in avoidance.
Boom! Senashira's pretty effective with these punches, man. Look at there. 8 damage here, 9 damage here. That's a pretty satisfying sound when she gets that hit in. punch in.
Must be paid soon. Who is
Oh my god, we're receiving so much damage. At least Lillarkor is having fun.
that's not right.
See, without spells, if we are back to our
Very well.
just physical damage type of fighting, this is just horrible.
I will require healing.
Just finish him off, guys, man. He just keeps out healing the damage, and I don't really want to, you know, lose all of my healing potions because we're really running low on those now. Alright, Jaheira is not slowed, but she needs to heal. Wow, we are so effective. At least we had Minsk. Thank you, Minsk, and for your damage dealing capabilities. Alright, so now Renfeld asks for help. We can ask what happened. And he apparently has been poisoned. And we are supposed to take him to his friends in the Docks district. To a guy named Rylock, who is going to be at the door. Alright, so we will take him there, and basically this is the type of mission where we're going to keep carrying him in our bags. And this is different from Baldur's Gate 1 Samuel, because here we don't have a time limit. We can, like, I've had playthroughs when I just kept him in my inventory for like weeks of in-game time. Just kept carrying him because I just kept doing other stuff. Yeah. But okay, this is another unique ambush. After Sunaseni, we get another Potion of Genius, which is nice. For a future scribing session, we got also quite a few scrolls here. But those aren't any new spells, I think. Maybe we didn't have that summon monster. Yeah, so here's Renfeld's body. Okay, nice. Another potion of invulnerability. Another chainmail that is going to get us like 16 gold or something. And there's one, where are you? This one. Yeah, Oil of Speed, Potion of Insight, another
What is it?
Potion of Invulnerability. So we got 2 of those. That's very nice. Potion of Insight just sets your Wisdom to 18. There are some situations when we get a potion case, it would be nice to just, you know, keep... especially, there's one situation like much later in the game where having high Wisdom gives you a cool conversation path with a certain dude. Alright, so Joaquin's Promenade, we're going to, in the next episode, we're going to go to the Ilmater Shrine to resurrect Eri, and then in the next episode I guess we will rearrange our party a little bit and get some characters, pretty interesting ones, and we're going to visit some more, some new districts, than just the 3 that we've been to. Alright, so thank you for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.